With every breath, a promise to rise. Together we chase the limitless skies. Galvanize the world, feel the mold of my life. Every healthy choice, it feels so right. Data in our hands, we hold the key. A future built on trust and integrity. Galvanize the world, feel the light. With every healthy choice, it feels so right. Data in our hands, we hold the key. A future built on trust and integrity.
Hello, Galvanators. Welcome to this week's Galvanators Unite call. Byron Belka here. And wherever you're at, wherever you're tuning in, thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for being a part of the community. And as you know, we're streaming this through multiple channels, however you're doing it and however you see it. Make sure that your teams are aware. As you know, we've got our calendar that has all of the links on it. We send out messages and different things, but this is one way for us to be able to get important and updated information out to everyone. And, you know, information is one thing. We're going to talk about some today, but really one of the things that we need to understand is I would recommend, if you want your teams to be on this call, participate in the different things that are going on, we need to make sure that we're giving those personal invitations to people. There is no emotion in a text, right? There's no emotion really in an email or notification. They're powerful. They're great reminders, but emotion is what makes things happen. You know, I was talking with an individual the other day, and they were wondering, like, when they're feeling a certain way. As you guys know, that's one of the reasons I love the Galvan app. Is we have a chance with the G Plus app to be able to look at people's wellness and to look at their well-being. And I was talking to somebody about this who was going through some rougher times in their life. And I think it was interesting that not only can the G Plus app show people where they're at, but give them things to do. And if we think of energy on a scale, what can they do right now? I love that the power-ups that you get. But if you think of where you're at right now, if you're having more of a, let's say, melancholy day, what is going to change if we stay in the same scenario or energy stage that we're in? If we want things to change, what I've learned is movement equals emotion. Energy comes from us exuding energy. And a lot of times we have to do something before we feel something. And so if you get up in the morning and you're wanting to share something or you're wanting to do something and you don't feel like it, it's action, it's activities, it's movement that creates a change in emotion, which is so powerful. And the fact that we have those insights, the fact that we, as I was talking to this individual and asking them when they do feel better, what are they doing? If they are in a kind of a down state, what do they need to do? And seeing that it's the action, it's those things that make a big difference. And I love that that's what we focus on here. Obviously, we're trying to empower people with their own wellness journeys, their own plans. But I love that we give people actions and activities to do, because it's those actions that are going to change the reaction. And when we can do that, whether we feel like it or not, then things truly do change for us in life. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that today. But we obviously have the team on the call. We're always excited to be able to, one, excuse Adam, who's on vacation celebrating his parents right now. And so that's what we love about this opportunity is it's a lifestyle concept. You know, this is a lifestyle community. And so we do it in all areas, and it gives us a lot of different freedoms that we have. But let's hop into this call a little bit. And we're going to start off today by hearing a little bit more, as I've talked about the app and some of the benefits that I've loved, just real life experiences with people. The person kind of behind it, making things happen, is Robert. Robert, thanks so much for all you do with the G Plus app and supporting this community. And we're going to turn some time over to you.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. Grateful to be here. So all of you are familiar. If you'll just bring up your Galvan app, that would be great. What I'd like to do today is start on and talk about a free badge. So let's go. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of my home page, and I'm going to click into see all to get to my badges, right? The one I want to talk about today is this one right here with the little gift. You can see our designers have very creative genius when it comes to creating our designs. I appreciate them. With the G Plus freebie app, what we are doing is we are going to give an annual subscription free. You know, it's a cost of $139 presently, but if you can complete 300 wellness checks and 300 heart minute days in a calendar year, then, sorry, not in a calendar year, but in your subscription year, then you will get the next subscription free to G Plus. And so as you can see on here, from the wellness check progress bar, this app looks like it's got 160 wellness checks. I can see right here uniquely, this subscription started January 1, 2026. That's impressive. Probably should say 2025. We'll get that fixed. But that's when it expires, is in 2026. And so I'm a little more than halfway through a year. If you look at a calendar, halfway through the year is 105, is about end of May, June-ish, July. So end of June, halfway through the year. So you can see I'm over halfway through getting the wellness checks as well as the heart minutes on the year. In a calendar year, if you had 300 days, that would put you to October 27th. So the bonus of that is if you got it done early, then you could have the holiday months of November and December off and still have your free subscription there. Now, this is awesome. Once I hit 300, then you'll get your check marks there, and then we will automatically give you a promo code to renew your next subscription free. One other point I wanted to make out is, as you can see, I've already, because I don't have the little notification at the top, you can see I've already done my wellness check. So to get back into your wellness check results, you can see that I've got a couple there, but I can go into the quick menu. Then if I click at the very top on wellness checks, that shows my wellness check results today. And so energy, I'm right in the zone, a little on the low side of my norm for the energy. The mood, I was just above the norm, and the stress goes the other direction. If you'll notice the smiley face on the left instead of the right, I am low stressed, and so I'm in the smiley face there. But what I wanted to show you is A, you can see your results again, and B, because I'm in the norm or better on all three categories, I do not get a power up. Typically, when you're below on one of those, automatically a power up will pop up for one of those given things. And because I didn't, and I want to do a power up, we give you an option to click on one of these three boxes, the green, purple, or red one, and they're random, so you can pick on any one. Let's pick on the purple one just for fun. And it will just give me a random power up for the day. And so even if you are in the good zone, if you wanted to get into a power up, you can go in and pick one of those three boxes and do your own new power up for a day. Just wanted to give you that. This one looks like it is awesome on breathing. Perfect. When I do a presentation, breathing is a good thing. So that's probably a good reminder for me as well. Anyway, in summary, I just wanted to show you, if you want to get into your wellness check, you can go into your quick menu, go back into the wellness check, and then at there you can pick a power up. And then I wanted to highlight for you in our badges the G Plus free badge, and you can see as you're progressing on that how you're doing. That will be our quick tip of the day for our G Plus app. Continue to set your mind, your body, and your soul to continue to improve and take charge of your health. With that, I will now turn the time over to Casey. Casey, what do you have for us today?
Perfect. Okay, so we are going to go over some of the account security stuff based on some of the tickets that we've gotten recently from our users. We're getting a lot of questions about the 2FA, how to enable it and how to disable it. Inside your account, once you've logged in, if you just click on your name down here in the bottom, then you're going to see this two-factor authentication tab. If you've already got this enabled, this is where you can go and disable it so that it's going back to sending the code to your email address rather than through an authenticator app. If you've never set it up, you just select this authenticator app and click next. It is going to ask you to confirm your password, and then it's going to send you a code. It will default to your email. So we're going to go get that code from our email really quick. If it's asking you for a 5-digit code, that's going to your email. If it's asking you for a 6-digit code, that means you've set up an authenticator app. So we'll paste that in here. And then from here, this is where I can scan this QR code, and it's going to let me add that to my authenticator app. You don't have to use a specific app. You can use any app that you prefer. Some people prefer Google Authenticator, Microsoft, completely up to you what you would like to choose. And then once you scan that, you'll put in the code that's shown on the actual app. And now that is successfully enabled. Now, a use case for this is, say you've done this and you need your phone in the authenticator app, and then you lose your phone, or for something happens to that authenticator app and you no longer have access to it. You are blocked from getting into your account. That's not a problem. Our support team can help disable this and put it back onto your email. We will require you to do a few steps to verify your identity, just to make sure somebody else didn't figure out your password and is trying to get in there without you knowing about it. So we will have a few extra steps for you, but we can reset that so that you can re-enable the two-factor authentication through an app. As always, you can always click this support tab and then search for all sorts of topics. If we just search for 2FA here, it's going to show us how do I enable my two-factor through an app and how do I downgrade it. If you have any questions on any of these, you always can just click this submit a request, fill this form out, and our support team will get back to you. So that's our quick tip on keeping your account secure. If you guys have any questions, reach out to our team. And I'm going to turn it back over to Byron for some fun announcements.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Case. And thanks, Robert. Appreciate that updates and the training there. I mean, that is key. And that's what this is. This is a teaching and training community. If people feel like they've got to understand every aspect of it, this is a process as we're learning. And we've got some of the best that are on the team helping people understand things a lot better. So as I talked about a little bit earlier, and I talked about the emotion and I talked about the energy, one of the things that I know is important for every single one of us that we can use in business to move anything forward is doing things whether we feel like it or not. And that's one of the things probably my children probably are tired of me hearing. I think if you have parents, your parents have said when you were growing up, or even as a parent, you said things to your children again and again and again. One of the things that they probably heard more than they want to hear, especially my boys, is just that. And that is, I don't know if I feel like doing this. I don't know if I feel like that. They know exactly what I'm going to say. And that is, what does feeling like it have anything to do with it? Feeling like it doesn't have anything to do with it, because it is the action that will hopefully create the emotion. But even if the emotion isn't there, if we can do those things after the excitement of doing it has faded, that's when we know we're going to reach those new heights, those new goals, and not let the motions dictate where we're going. If we think of the world today, I think of one of the reasons why there's so much out there that seems like it's a dumpster fire is because so many people are doing things based on how they feel instead of based on principle or based on discipline. And anybody that I've met that's an entrepreneur, and I've had the good fortune to see so many rags to riches stories, so many success stories over the years in all walks of life. People ask me, what does it take to see success? What does it really take to go out there and transform your life and see success? Do you have to have certain skills and talents. Yeah, you can learn things, right? But you have to be, a pro at crypto? Do you have to understand every aspect of health and wellness? Do you have to do those things? That's not it. There's a couple of things that I've seen with every single person, and they've been older, younger. They've been every type of background possible, educated, non-educated in the traditional sense, right? And they have a couple of things. And the first thing that they have is they have to be teachable. Okay. If you are teachable, then you're going to come to the table understanding that you don't know everything. And when you're open, like you can't really learn anything in a book if you don't open it, right? The same thing happens with our minds. It's only valuable if it's open, because we have to open that book to read. We have to open our minds to learn, and we have to be willing to be teachable. And if you're teachable, then things can change. Another thing that you have to have, and this is something that I can't train. And I've done a lot of training. I don't know how many trainings I've done on stages in front of big groups and small groups in different settings. But there's one component that if somebody does not have it, it does not matter what we train. It doesn't matter how much time we put into helping them progress. It's not going to happen. And that is desire. I can't give somebody desire. I can't give somebody a desire for change, a desire for something better, a desire to do more, a desire to be able to help. I can't train desire. People have to have it. And if they have that desire, okay, and they are teachable, then there's only one other component. It's 1, 2, 3. You've probably heard me say this before. I love that it's tic-tac-toe. It's green, yellow, red for lights. It's everything is, ready, set, go. It's 3 things. These are the 3 things. You want to totally transform your life. You got to make sure that you have that purpose, that reason, that why, that desire. Because when you have that desire, all the other things can work. And if some days you don't have that desire and you're not feeling it, that's why it's so important that you're doing things because of discipline, because the desire is still there, because the discipline will be stronger than emotion, and that that emotion will remind you of that desire, and that fire comes back. Okay, so if you have that desire and you are teachable, the only other thing that you really need to do to have positive change is you need to be consistent. Okay, consistent. Nothing changes if there's no consistency behind it. If you don't do anything consistently, it can't grow. If I don't cultivate a garden consistently, the things that I don't want to grow will grow, right? It will just go the way it wants to go. It's not the way you want it to go. But if I'm consistent in that, if I'm consistent at the gym, if I'm consistent in trying to become better and feed my mind the positive things, that's when real change happens. If I consistently try to learn a new song on the guitar, I'm going to master, I'm going to get to it, I'm going to figure it out. But those 3 things can transform your life. And I've watched that happen for decades. I've watched people transform their lives because they had the desire, they were teachable and willing to learn something new, and they were consistent. And with those things, I'm telling you what do you want? Where do you want to be by the end of this year? Where do you want to be by the end of this summer? Those can happen. Things can be made into fruition when you're doing those things. And it doesn't matter if you don't know every aspect of everything, because people will understand more your emotion than they will everything else. And that's what I've learned about business as I've been trying to teach people different systems and training and understand new things. Same thing with blockchain. Same thing with this community. There's a lot to understand and learn. There's a lot and I've watched what happens when people start down a new path and they have that passion and they have that excitement, and then they get people that are engaged. They get people that are excited. And then as they educate themselves more, not that education is bad, but they start to lean more towards that education and to the facts and explaining those facts than they do about the passion and the purpose and the drive and their emotion and that behind it. And they don't get the same results, and they don't understand. I've seen it happen so many times when somebody has more education and more information on something, Why does the result change? Well, it changes because you're taking out the most important thing, and that is that desire, that reason, that purpose, that passion. People need to see it. People need to feel it. And even if somebody doesn't see it the way you see it, even if somebody doesn't quite understand it, if they know you do and they can feel that you do, that's what comes across more than the facts and the figures and the numbers and all of those things. Is we're trying to change the world. We're taking this community and we're flipping the way things have been done in some instances on their head. And on other instances, we're upgrading everything. We're changing the world. And to change the world, it's going to take passion. It's going to take seeing something that everybody else maybe doesn't see yet and being okay with that. But whether or not somebody wants to follow me in what I'm doing with Galvan and what I've been doing in anything else in my life, here's what I want somebody to know when they come out of a conversation with me. Whether they see it or they get it or they believe it, I want them to know that I at least do. And they can say, yeah, he does. I can tell by the way he talks. I can tell by what he's talking about. I can tell he gets it. I can tell him, even if I don't understand it, I know that he is passionate and he gets it. And that's more than anything. I'm telling you what, that is planting a seed for, even if they say no and they're not interested now, it's going to be no, not now. And it's weird. I know that one of the challenges we have is, how do we give wallets away? How do we go out there and give people a wallet and let them see some of our eyes token and give them that so that they can experience it and it's more tangible in their hand as a gift. Sometimes it's hard to give away a free thing, right? It's as hard a way to give away a free thing sometimes as it is to get somebody to do something that takes a little bit more than that. But what I do know is the underlying focus of all of that is still people want to follow somebody who knows where they're going. And if you are one step ahead of them, you can lead them. Okay, so don't forget that. You're more powerful than you think you are. Just make sure you have those things. Make sure that you do. You know what you're after. You know why. And you have that desire for change. And that you are teachable and that you're consistent. And you do that, and positive change is going to happen as we continue to grow. Now, one of the things that I'm excited about, okay, there's advantages to being a part of a community. And as you guys know, one of the relationships that Galvan has, as we've helped put that together, is the collective, the Well Collective, with different products and services. Another advantage we have is with Connect and other different things. And we're bringing on more and more people. You're going to hear about more and more opportunities that Galvan is connecting with. And Galvan is that, the blockchain that can, and community that can connect with all of these things, and powerful things are happening. But being a node owner connects you to all of them. It connects it's being able to support this community. It's being able to do that. And not only do you get rewards, eyes tokens for going out there and supporting the community with your node, but you're going to see that there's going to be more and more NFTs, more and more things happen. One of the things that I'm doing with the collective is, as we bring in a new product, as we bring in a new brand, I'm telling whoever that brand is, one of the best things that you can do is give everybody in the community that as a node owner or is participating, give them a discount. Let's give them an opportunity to go and participate. Well, that's one thing that we're doing right now, that everybody, if you own a node, yes, you're getting those rewards, but here's what I want you to do by the end of today. Or if you're in a different time zone, let's say you're on the other side of the world, by the time you wake up tomorrow, if you're a node owner, I want you to go, and as you know, in your wallet, you can see that you can click on your wallet, and at the top, there's a couple of tabs. One of those tabs is NFTs. And you're going to find an NFT in your wallet tomorrow. If not, if you're in a different time zone, or later tonight here. And that is this. It's going to be a Well Collective NFT. And this is a gift from the Well Collective to all of the Galvan node owners. And what you're going to do is you're going to go in and activate this NFT. And once you activate it, it is going to give you a one-time code. And this code is for you to go to the collective. There's going to be a link on that NFT. You can go to the collective, and anything that you purchase is going to have a 25% discount. So if somebody wanted to try our the protein there, the Tidal protein, 25% off. If somebody wants to try, I don't know if you've seen the GLP-1 caramels. What the company U4X is telling us is, on average, people that are taking these caramels twice a day are losing up to 20 pounds in a month. It's crazy. And so we've got our GLP caramels that are there. We've got protein mod balls. We got different things that are there, but anything in an order. It could be one product. It can be multiple products. But for all those node owners out there, you're going to get this NFT. Activate the NFT. It will give you a unique one-time code to go to the collective through the end of the month. Okay, so it doesn't have to be today, but by the end of the month, this expires. But we want people to be able to say, go and try this. And with this relationship with Galvan and the collective wants all the node owners to say, hey, thanks for obviously letting them into this community, linking to this blockchain. And there's going to be a benefit there for those people that want to do that. Now, just wanted to make that aware. There's going to be continual benefits for everybody, no matter what, right? You can already save a 10% discount in the collective if you go and use your eyes. Up to 10% is what I'm going to say, because sometimes it doesn't always equate to an exact 10% because of how they're figuring out what the average 10% discount is over the last time frame that they're looking at. But up to a 10% discount, just using your eyes. So everybody can go and do that by using eyes. But this is just one other additional benefit for node owners. And you're going to see more and more of those as we continue to push things forward and bring people to the Galvan community and to the Galvan blockchain. We're all going to benefit, okay? But we're going to make sure that there's additional benefits. And I'm excited for what you're going to see over the next month or so with some of these NFTs, with some of the different drops that are going to be in people's wallets that are part of the community. So congratulations to everybody that has a nodes helping support the blockchain, and then anybody else too. You have the opportunity to go get a discount there just using eyes. So we did have a couple of things we'll have to reward, right? We did have, and we're going to reward some of our next people that have swapped. Now, once again, what is a swap? A swap is going into your Galvan wallet and you're taking USDT, USDC, you're taking Ethereum, and you're swapping that and into EYES, the token. So one of the reasons why, as we brought up the collective, there's so many use cases for this, right? Getting our token. But another reason why, if somebody per se were to go, and let's say you did want to buy a product in the collective, you get a 10% discount, as we talked about, by spending EYES instead of your currency. So if you're in a market where we do have products, right now it's the US, and that's continuing to expand as we're going to bring on different products in different parts of the globe. But by doing that, you can save yourself 10%. So instead of $50, it would be $45. Instead of $100, it would be $90. Okay, so doing that swap really is important. And so what we want to do is we want to reward, and as you notice, we've been doing this kind of consistently for those people that are going and swapping, and then you're going to have that transaction hash that you need to submit to customer service. You're going to see a pop-up, or you can just click support and you can send that in. We need to have that hash. And then what's going to happen is we're doing what we're doing now, and we're going to reward the person that whose number comes up. We're going to double whatever it is that they swapped. So today we're going to go between 1 and 17, and let's look and see what we got going. I'm going to generate here. Let's see who our winner is. Our winner is, see, lucky number 16. Case, who is our winner this week?
Ariane.
Ariane.
Send over tokens right now.
Congratulations, Ariane, going and swapping. And I've had people ask, okay, well, what amount? Well, whatever amount you swapped. That's the beauty of it. So if somebody swapped $10, they got $10 doubled. If somebody swapped 100 and they get chosen and win, then we're gonna match that. So pretty powerful. But are you taking advantage of that? Are you swapping? Because here's one of those things in our community, and once again, as community members, and I'm a community member as well, what we can do, what's going to happen if we get a group of people that are just swapping a little bit of over to eyes every single week? You know, that's going to put pressure on our token in a positive way. Okay. And it's as more and more and more and more people start to use this, that's what utility is all about. Utility is what is this token used for? Okay. And the utility with our community is what's going to create the liquidity, which gives us that. So right now, as we continue to put more things in the collective, team up, and we have things in Connect, and we have things all over the place in Galvan. Every time we're doing that, okay, we are once again putting utility and showing the world this is the health and wellness token. This is the health and wellness blockchain. And it's rewarding those activities and actions that can only make somebody's life better. Think about that. You're a part of a community that every action we're telling somebody to do is good for them. I don't know how many communities and companies and people out there could honestly say that to everyone. But we can say that, and we can do that. So I'm excited to be a Galvanator. And I know that we've got so many people out there that need what we have, that need to know. I mean, who wouldn't want to know if you're having you might be able to feel it, but if your energy is not where it needs to be? How would you like to know that about the people that are closest to you that you care about? This opportunity that we have with the G Plus app, which is the #1 mental wellness app on the planet, and we have it. We have the exclusive blockchain rights to that. So sometimes I don't know if we really see the value of everything because we're in it. Sometimes when we're in it, it's hard to see the forest when you're in the trees. Take a step back and we look at the impact that this really can have, the lives that it can impact, the lives that it can save by what we're doing here. It is just powerful. So I want to thank you all so much for tuning in today and for having that desire. I know you're here because of that desire. What we talked about today, I know you have, or you wouldn't be here. But as we continue to learn more and be more consistent, we are going to see this community continue to thrive. Lives change, and we change the world one person at a time. And that's what Galvan is all about. So thank you all for being on. I want to thank Casey and Robert once again for their training and their support continually that we get. There's so many others that do the same, that help us behind the scenes. We've got some amazing, amazing people in this community. Let's go out there and have an amazing week. Let's go out there and be consistent. And I'm Byron Belka, and I'm a Galvanator. Appreciate you. Have a good rest of your week. Take care, everyone.